Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to Axelis. Today we are going to be seeing what if Naruto had the Sharingan Part 1. Chapter 1, Meeting the Uchiha Leader. It was a quiet evening as Naruto was walking towards home from the orphanage house to his home. He was not having a good day because Konoha had always been mistreating him because of the Kyuubi inside of him. As he was walking, he thought to himself, I hate you, Yondaime. Why did you have to go and sacrifice your life for his sake of Konoha? I wish you were still here, it is just lonely for me without you. As he turned to the corner of the Inazukas and the Hyuga residences, he sees his house and makes his way inside. As he settled himself down, he changed to his pajamas and then went upstairs to his room and took a book from his shelf. It was entitled, Chakra Control Made Easy. As he reads it, he came across a section on using the Sharingan, which is what the Uchiha clan had developed. Naruto wanted to know more about this technique because he wanted to have a Sharingan just like Sasuke with the help of the Kyuubi. The only person that would help him obtain the Sharingan was Sasuke's older brother, Uchiha Itachi. As Naruto turned off the light and went to sleep, he suddenly hears a disturbing sound from outside. As he woke up, he sees civilians outside and flooding the streets with their weapons as if they were ready to kill someone. And to Naruto's surprise, the civilians are targeting him. But Naruto tried not to let himself be detected by the civilians because this would spell trouble for him. He closed the blinds and went back to sleep, but not before he heard a loud boom sound from outside. As Naruto woke up, he could see the civilians already attacking his house with rocks and burning papers. At that moment, Naruto knew that his house was being set on fire, so he puts his clothes on and went out the back door to avoid getting caught. He then heads for the Hokage's tower, but as he ran, he spotted the civilians coming after him. There is the demon. Get him, one of the civilians shouted. Make sure he doesn't make it out alive, shouted another civilian. As Naruto sees the civilians running towards him, he soon realized that he was trapped and had no hope of surviving this onslaught. As he turned to the corner of the Konoha streets and headed for the Hokage's tower, he spots someone, with a sword on his back and a raven-haired kid with dark eyes. It was Uchiha Itachi, the older brother of Sasuke who possesses the Sharingan and other techniques of the Uchiha clan. As he sees Naruto, he thought to himself, Naruto, why am I not surprised to see you out here? Looks like I better get you out of the danger zone. Naruto was immediately relieved to see Uchiha Itachi out at this time of the night, but he asked him, Itachi, what are you doing out here? And why have you come to rescue me? I couldn't let you die out here, because you are special to Konoha and I can't allow someone from our own village to be beaten to a pulp by these civilian thugs. I'm the only one that can protect you now from the villagers. Let me take you to the Hokage, said Itachi as he carried Naruto on his back. But as we're walking, they spotted the civilians who surrounded them blocking their path of escape. Ah, so you are the leader of the Uchiha clan, aren't you? We are glad you have captured Naruto for us, and now we would give you a chance to finish that demon off yourself, replied the merchant. He's right, that kid is the demon and he could harm us all. If you would destroy him, we would all be thankful, replied another civilian. But as Itachi looked at the kid in the eyes, he sees as nothing more than just a normal child with no family to look after him and being dumped at the orphanage. Itachi could also see that Naruto hasn't been taken in by anyone in or outside of Konoha because of the beast inside of him scaring the civilians. This had also attracted shinobis who also wanted to execute Naruto because of their hatred of the monster that attacked this village, leaving it in shambles. Itachi wasn't so happy with what the monster did, but he didn't blame Naruto for it, and he knows this because of the way he was mistreated and abused. He can't allow this child to suffer anymore. You people are really crazy if you think this child perpetrated such a heinous act on his own home. I don't see him posing any sort of threat to you, and what makes you think you can execute him just because of the monster inside of him? This child has suffered enough already, and I think it's about time you people stop shunning him. I will not allow you to continue your campaign of harassment on an innocent little youth, replied Itachi. You are willing to let that demon scum loose on the streets so that it can cause even more chaos. Are you feeling alright, Itachi? He must be killed to reduce the threat here in Konoha because we don't want any more damages done here, replied a civilian. I'm fine, but what you guys plan to do to Naruto will not be tolerated. I will not allow the likes of you to lay a hand on this kid. Now step aside before I put all of you in a world of darkness for all eternity, replied Itachi with a tone of warning. As the civilians looked at him, they were in deep shock. They couldn't understand why a member of the Uchiha clan would take interest in a kid like Naruto, but it was pointless for them to argue any further with him. As Itachi and Naruto left the mob of civilians, they went down the street towards the Hokage's tower for safety while the Umbu guards cleared the streets. Itachi-ne-san, why do I get the feeling that I am always being rejected and hated by the people here in my own home? I just want this village to see me as a hero for once and not some monster trying to destroy this place, replied Naruto sadly. I feel your pain, Naruto-san, but you shouldn't have gotten in harm's way. You know that they already dislike you, but for them to go this far, I simply cannot forgive them if you were left for dead. And furthermore, you should have come to me for assistance, replied Itachi. Yeah, you are right, I can't stand those civilians either. The Hokage wanted to see me, right? Asked Naruto. Yes, he is really getting worried about you, and even half the population of Konoha, including the clansmen, are worried about you too. We cannot keep them waiting, let's go, Naruto, replied Itachi as he carries the boy on his arms, and then together, they ran off towards the Hokage's office to avoid being caught by the villagers. Meanwhile, back in the Hokage's office, the Sandaime was busy with his paperwork when he heard a knock at the door. Come in, he ordered. The door opened and the two gatekeepers of Konoha, Izumo Kamizuki and Kotetsu Higane, entered the office and says to him, Hokage-sama. We're so sorry to have interrupted you, but Uzumaki Naruto was found at the hands of the villagers. They were nearly ready to kill him until he was saved by Uchiha Itachi. They are on their way to see you now. However, Naruto is still in shock after he was traumatized by the civilians. What did you say? Naruto was attacked by the villagers again. Are you sure of that? Why does every bad thing have to happen to him? Asked the Hokage. He was really beginning to get upset over the villagers harassing Naruto, and moreover, he was really worried about his adoptive grandson's safety while he was in the village. Sarutobi-sama, as your advisors, we think that whatever is inside the boy is to be blamed for the attack on the village 12 years ago. Even after the Yondaime sealed it inside of him, it shouldn't have been a serious threat to Konoha. We know that he isn't a normal child, but the villagers still think that he is a weapon ready to cause mass destruction throughout the village. We suggest that he be put under the protection of the Umbu guards until the situation can be resolved, replied Homura. He's right, Naruto needs to have supervision with him at all time when he's in the streets of Konoha so that he won't be ambushed by the villagers. We feel that he might be in more danger without anyone to look after him. If this continues, then the entire village will be in jeopardy as you know it, added Koharu. The Hokage nodded his head, then paused for a moment and puffed on his pipe as he remembered the day that the Kubi-ai attacked the village and taking the lives of nearly every shinobi here. It was a nightmare that he simply cannot forget, but there was something else that pressed his concern over the safety of the blonde. If the Akatsuki was to obtain the Kubi-ai, Naruto's life would seriously take its turn for the worst, but he can't afford to let that happen. Naruto-san, what's happened to you, my boy? I don't like to complain, but why does trouble brew on you every time I see you out in the streets? I know you are trying to stay out of danger, but this is not really what I meant, he thought to himself. Send them both in, and order up an emergency meeting for all the families of Konoha, and I will need to have a talk with Itachi about implanting a special power that will help Naruto to get stronger with the Kubi-ai inside, he ordered the Chunins. Hi! Hokage-sama, replied the Chunins as they dashed out of the old man's office and waited outside of the Hokage's tower for Itachi and Naruto's arrival. Meanwhile, back in the streets of Konoha, Naruto was beginning to get tired after being on Itachi's back for hours after their encounter with the civilians. So Itachi sets him down on the ground, grabbed his hand, and they both walked towards the Hokage's office. But before they even got there, they turned to see more villagers coming after them with weapons. "Looks like we are not out of the woods yet, Itachi-ne-san." "Let's hurry," replied Naruto. But Itachi didn't move as he turns to look at the villagers, then at the blonde. "Go on ahead, Naruto-san, I'll catch up with you after I deal with these villagers here," he replied. Naruto was shocked to hear that Itachi was staying behind. "Are you sure about this? I can't allow you to get in harm's way, Itachi-ne-san. You are the only person that can help me now, you can't let me go on my own like this," he protested. "Little boy, go on, I'll be fine, okay? You don't need to worry about me. I promise I will be okay. You need to go find some help, okay?" said Itachi. But no matter how hard Naruto tried to refuse to leave, he did so anyway so that he wouldn't be in harm's way. As he continued onwards, he could hear the sounds of the villagers gaining on him faster than a speeding bullet. He then climbed upon rooftops of several houses, heads toward the Ninja Academy, and then made a quick right turn to the Hokage's office. Naruto was exhausted when he arrived there and seized the Chunins. "Aizumo-san, Kotetsu-san, sorry for the hold-up, but the Hokage wanted to see me and Itachi, right?" "Naruto. Thank goodness you are here. Where is Itachi-san, is he still with you?" they asked him. "He was held up by the villagers, but he told me he will catch up. Now, can you please take me to the Sandame because you don't want to see me getting pummeled out here by the villagers," said Naruto. The Chunins nodded their heads and led Naruto upstairs to the office. Once Naruto entered the room, he spots the Hokage at his desk and said, "Aji-san. Is there something that you needed to tell me about when you wanted me here?" The old man looked up from his papers and sees Naruto in front of him. He wasn't surprised when the boy entered the office so soon, so he got up and picked the boy up while saying to him, "Naruto-kun, thank you for arriving on such short notice. I hope you didn't have too much problems getting here. Were you held up by the villagers again when Itachi sent you here?" "Yes, I was nearly held hostage by them and they nearly tried to kill me, but thanks to some help from Itachi I was able to make it here with no problems, but I need your help. You see, I can't keep getting harassed by the villagers like this each time when I am out on the streets. I know you wanted to protect me and all, but I just don't have enough protection on my own." "What am I going to do now?" asked Naruto sadly. The old man paused for a moment and then went back to his desk while setting Naruto down on the tabletop. He then looked outside the window and sees the villagers' rants of "kill the spawn," also known as "get rid of the demon jailer," while breathing a sigh of disappointment at how ugly this will become if the villagers and civilians lay a hand on the container of the Kyuubi and how it would cause serious problems for Konoha, not to mention releasing the monster free again. "Minato-san, ever since you sealed the Kyuubi inside your son, we've tried our best to keep him safe here, but despite how much he was shunned, it would be hard for him to be considered a hero, and this would cause the boy to wreak havoc all around the village. But don't worry, I've thought of a plan to make him stronger even with the Kyuubi inside of him. Just you wait, though the Hokage." A few minutes later, Uchiha Itachi arrived in the office with cuts, scrapes and other injuries all over his body from the beatings he took and the weapons impaled onto him. He then spots the Chunins who were guarding the Hokage's office and said to them, "Sorry for arriving so late, I was outnumbered by the civilians after I sent Naruto-san here. I need to see him, please. And before I do, I need some water and the medical shinobi to heal my wounds," he said to them and collapses to the ground in pain. The Chunins were shocked at what they saw and quickly lifted Itachi up and took him to the Hokage's office where they set him down on the couch and placed towels and blankets on him to dry off. Afterwards, he drank a glass of water to help calm him down. He then spots Naruto on the Hokage's desk and walked towards him and said, "Thank goodness you are here, Naruto-san. I was so worried about you, but now that you are here, you wanted to see me, Hokage-sama." "Yes, Itachi-san, the reason why I called you here is because ever since the Kyuubi was sealed inside of Naruto, he was still considered weak, but now I have come up with a plan to make him stronger even with the monster inside of him. And this is where I need your help, and since the Uchiha clan possesses the Sharingan just like Kakashi, I was wondering if you could implant some of that power inside of Naruto so that he can possess the same type of power like Sasuke does. With the Kyuubi's power combined, Naruto will become a completely different person. What do you think?" asked the Hokage. "Me? Implanting the Sharingan inside of Naruto? You are not serious about that, are you? That could be dangerous, and the Sharingan is very important to our clan. If this gets into someone else's hands, it could pose a serious threat to our clan." "Yes, I know what the deceased 4th Hokage did for Naruto, and I could care less about my clan seeing the boy as a monster and not accepting him as a hero, but teaching him the Sharingan, and implanting it inside of the container of the Kyuubi would jeopardize the village, and I don't feel that the boy would be ready to have such an advanced technique. And I don't think my father Fugaku would be willing to take Naruto in as a student because when he first met the Yondaime after Naruto was born, he wanted the boy executed because of the Kyuubi inside of him. I don't want to put the kid in any more danger, and with the Sharingan inside of him, it could blind his eye for sure. Besides, I think Kakashi would be able to train him on how to use the Sharingan," replied Itachi. "Please, do it for Naruto, okay? I am only asking you this as a favor, and Kakashi unfortunately doesn't have time to take on new students, and taming Naruto to use the Sharingan would be near impossible. If I were in his shoes, he would probably say the same thing, so I leave him in your capable hands, Itachi-sama," said the Hokage with a serious look in his eyes. "Besides, I'm sure Sasuke wouldn't mind having Naruto as a part of his family for a change since he also possesses the same technique as you do. I'm sure Fugaku would be more than happy to train him in how to use the Sharingan." "Itachi-ne-san, is this true? You really are going to teach me how to use the Sharingan?" asked Naruto. Itachi looks at Naruto for a moment and then smiles at him while saying to him, "Yes, of course, but you better work hard, little man. I do not want to hear any complaints from you, or else your training will be suspended and you will have to leave empty-handed. Is that clear?" Naruto then nods with the agreement set on him. "Good, that's what I like to hear, Naruto. Now, you are coming home with me, we can't keep our father waiting," replied Itachi. He then carried Naruto on his back and then exited the Hokage's office while Naruto waved goodbye to his grandfather figure. On their way outside, they spotted Umbu guards outside trying to calm the villagers down before chaos spreads in the streets. They had no idea of what was going to happen until the villagers spotted Itachi holding Naruto and started going after him, but they were blocked by the Umbu guards, preventing any harm to be laid on the child and the Uchiha clan leader. The guards escorted Naruto and Itachi away from the villagers and moved them to a safer distance as the most direct route to the Uchiha compound. Once they were safely escorted, the guards returned to duty and cleared the streets of the villagers before returning to their posts. A few minutes later, Itachi and Naruto had arrived at the Uchiha compound. To his amazement, the compound was like a huge mansion with rooms all over the place, and they were all adjacent to one another just like the Hyuga compound. The rooms were spacious and very beautiful indeed. As Naruto walked into the compound entrance, Itachi directed him to the living room and said, "Well, Naruto, here we are. Welcome to the Uchiha compound, where our home is your home. Wait right here while I find Fugaku-san." He then left the room. Naruto then sat down on the sofa and placed his bag containing his ninja supplies and other tools on the floor while waiting for Uncle Fugaku to show up. In the meantime, he took out a book that the Sandaime placed in his bag before he left the office. It was entitled, "How to Manage Chakra Control," which explains more about elemental chakra and basic chakra for ninjutsu and genjutsu along with wind chakra. Naruto knows now that in order to build up chakra he must be one with nature and wind just like his father. He then took out one of his scrolls that contained instructions on how to perform genjutsu, but no sooner than he did that, Uchiha Fugaku entered the room and sees Naruto on the couch and said to Itachi, "So, this is the son of the Yondaime who is trying to become a Sharingan user and obtain the title of Hokage, right?" "Yes, Two-san, that's the kid that I had saved from near death after his encounter with the villagers. I brought him here at the request of the Hokage for safety until further notice. If Naruto can possess the Sharingan Eye even with the Kyuubi inside of him, we might make him the strongest member of our clan," replied Itachi. The father looked at Itachi for a moment with an icy glare in his eyes. "You are not serious, are you? You want me to turn this boy into a weapon of mass destruction? There is no way that I will make Naruto a Sharingan user. It could violate the code of the Uchihas. Why have you brought him here?" Itachi explained to his father that despite how much hate the villagers were giving Naruto, it was either that he learns to master the Sharingan, or be executed for having the demon inside of him. He also told his father that Naruto needed someone to look after him while he was here in Konoha because the village needs a new hero to defend this place with honor and pride so that the villagers will respect him more. Furthermore, Itachi informed his father not to tell anyone of the fox hidden in Naruto or there will be dire consequences. Putting that aside, Fugaku walked over to the boy and said to him, "So, you are Uzumaki Naruto, I presume? Well, let me be the first to welcome you to the Uchiha clan. You may know me as Uchiha Fugaku, the clan head and the father of Uchiha Sasuke. I'm sure you know him, don't you?" "Yes, of course, who wouldn't know Sasuke? He's the prodigy of the Uchihas, right? He always had high hopes of mastering the Sharingan and other techniques. I wanted to be just like him, but I was always dead last of the class. Everyone wants me to succeed, including Master Irika, whom I consider as family." "How do you know my father anyway?" asked Naruto. "Your father, the Yondaime, always had high hopes for you and wants to see you succeed with your life. Since you have a bloodline limit and you possess something that not even the entire village would know, you need to be implanted with another type of power besides using the Kyuubi. The Sharingan is another powerful technique, though not as powerful as the Mangekyo Sharingan, but it's the bloodline of the Uchiha clan and our lifeline. We wouldn't go anywhere without it. I brought you here so that you can actually be the next user of the Sharingan with the help from your mystery power inside you," replied Fugaku. "You're kidding me. So that would mean I am inheriting the Uchiha's prize technique, the Sharingan. But even though I am not an Uchiha, why did you choose me to inherit it?" asked Naruto. "Well, let's just call it a favor from the Hokage himself. Okay, before we begin any mental training, we need to work on your physical strength. How good are you at genjutsu, ninjutsu, and taijutsu?" asked Itachi. "To answer your question, Nei-san, I am not so good with genjutsu. Though, I am only skilled in taijutsu and ninjutsu. I've heard of illusion techniques but never had found the time to perform any of them. But now that you mentioned the Sharingan, it has many special abilities, right?" asked Naruto. Itachi paused for a moment and then placed his hands on the blonde's shoulder and then said to him, "Yes, the Sharingan has many special powers and abilities, just like the Byakugan, which is used by the Hyuga clan. The Sharingan allows the user to understand the attack of his or her opponent almost before they know what attacks are being used. Also, the Sharingan is used to see the flow of chakra within another person, but to a lesser extent. Second, when this technique is first activated, there is a different number of atomo around the pupil of the eye. If it's used extensively for a longer amount of time, then the Sharingan evolves and a new tomo is added. The maximum number of tomos that a Sharingan wielder can have is 3, and once the user has all 3 tomos, He would then be able to predict movement from any opponent even though he isn't at the same pace as the opponent is, replied Itachi. Yeah, that's great and all, but what exactly is a tomo? That is something that I have never heard of before, replied Naruto. Fugaku seemed a little bit disappointed in Naruto for not knowing what tomo is, but he didn't want to take it too personally. You came all the way down here to learn the Sharingan and you don't know what a tomo is. You won't be able to know how to wield such power that we do if you don't know the basics now, would you? Naruto then stood up and said to Fugaku, "Oh, come on. Fugaku-san. This is really my first time in learning something new and the tomo thing is too new to me. So if you would explain to me what that is based on what you told me about how it is applied in the Sharingan, I can know it a little bit better. And besides, I don't know everything about the Sharingan yet. Let's do this step by step." Fugaku sighed in disappointment but finally said, "You really are a funny one, aren't you? Okay, the tomo is the swirl that represents kamas or usual forms of magatama in the eyes. In this case the tomo is developed in our eyes and when the Sharingan is activated, the swirls in our eyes will begin forming. The maximum number of tomos that we Uchiha clan members can have is 3 as Iave said earlier. The only advanced Sharingan technique that is available is the Mangekyo Sharingan, which will only be gained by the loss of someone close to you at your own hands," replied Fugaku. You mean, you have to kill someone to gain such an advanced technique like that? Sacrificing another person's life to gain an attack? That's just scary. Yes, that kind of thing will happen. But don't worry, even if my life goes into the afterlife, a part of me will always be with you, just like the fourth, I promise you, said Fugaku while patting Naruto on the shoulder with his hands. Now getting back to my point, you know that the Sharingan is capable of a hypnosis attack, right? All of this is done through simple eye contact. Also, when the Sharingan is used in conjunction with other aspects of the Sharingan, the user is able to perfectly mimic every single move the opponent makes before they have a chance to make theirs. Keep in mind that more advanced Sharingan users can take the hypnosis ability up to a higher level to trick and trap opponents in an illusion, and the potency of the Sharingan's illusion is dependent on the user's knowledge and skill while implementing genjutsu. That's about all the information there is on the basics of the Sharingan. Do you understand now what I have gone over with you, Naruto? Asked Fugaku. Naruto looked at him for a moment and then breathed with a heavy sigh and said, "Yes, I understood every single word you said, but even if I do possess such a power unimaginable like that, it would only do more harm than good. I don't want to be evil and all, but are you sure this will be safe for me to use?" asked Naruto with a worried look. Naruto, since when does a power like the Sharingan becomes dangerous? Me and Sasuke all know that the technique is safe to use, but be careful when using it. The technique can produce unknown side effects on your body, reduce your strength, and eating away your chakra. We don't want to see you losing your strength, would we? Your life will never be in any danger, understand? Replied Itachi while placing his hand on Naruto's shoulder, but the blonde shrugged it off. He did, however, surmise the villagers for attacking him in the first place and demanded revenge thereafter. Stupid villagers, I will get you for trying to harm an innocent child like me, and I swear to my father's grave, you will pay dearly, he thought to himself. Well, Naruto, I guess that's it for my lecture on how the Sharingan works. I hope you learned something here today, Naruto-kun. Keep this lesson forever in your heart, my friend, and take it wherever you go, okay? Remember, strength is the key to success, replied Fugaku as he sees Naruto outside. Once the blonde says goodbye to the man and gone out of sight, Itachi stood on the rooftop with his Sharingan activated and thought evilly, "You don't know the danger you are in, foolish boy. I will make sure your teacher and mentor and my father, Fugaku, enjoys a slow and painful death along with the rest of the clan family members. Then the Sharingan will be transplanted into your eyes before his death. Just wait, the worst is yet to come, Naruto. Even you don't stand a chance against me." He then vanished into a cloud of smoke without Naruto noticing that he is already in danger. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know how was the story down in the comment section. Also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you in another video. Peace.